Apparently, worldboxingnews.net, however you want to take it, Kobe sent this. They saying that Gervonta Davis was in the rotation to fight Manny Pacquiao, and he's no longer in consideration. Apparently, he got a warrant, and they don't know where he at. Eventually, he probably turned himself in because he'll bond out. But if you're on the run for too long, they may not let you really get no bond for real. So he need to consider that. So apparently, I guess they don't know where he at. But I ain't really here to preach on that situation, dog. You know, like I say, a lot of dudes, whole problems, you know, is the number one failure of a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? Whole problems. You know, you got the dude at Michigan who had that great job that he was gifted. And he let whole problems take a $6 million job away from him. And when you don't end up, you know, really, let me say this, when you don't know how to channel that, when you don't know how to channel those emotions, when you dealing with a woman that's just with you, you know, for whatever benefit, they not with you because you got motion. The crazy thing about it, they learn how to manipulate you and press your buttons to get you out of body to really fuck your life up. You know, I'm going to talk about Michelle Obama too in another video that Mr. T sent me. A lot of women be jealous of your success, bro. And they come in your life just to fuck it up. You know, that's it. But, you know, hopefully, you know, through all the trials and tribulations, he learned how to deal with women. I had to learn it. We all had to learn it. Trust me, a lot of us, we had our ups and downs and with that shit just on a minor scale because we wasn't Gervonta Davis. But if you keep failing the test, you're going to end up losing everything. Flat out. You know, but yeah, he took a Pacquiao stuff out of his, Rolly out the way because he got to fight the mandatory. Mayweather, I guess, is the last name they say is left. And then it said that Tank was in there. Now, somebody reported that. You know, somebody reported that Tank could be fighting Pacquiao on Twitter, and they nutted up on dog. I forget who dog what, man. You lying and you always. I want to say even people from Tank Team was calling him a liar, and he was right. I've been there, done that before. I seen Coppinger go through that. Remember, somebody was like, "Yeah, Coppinger is lying about this," and like a week later, maybe not even a week later, a day later, it came out. Coppinger was telling the truth. Dog ain't had nothing bad. But one thing about these fighters, bro, or just people in the fight game, they lie. Oh, he lying. And on the other tip, they leak things out to people. Let them know what's really going on, right? But whoever that was, bro, niggas know, oh, bro, apology. I remember that. I can't, maybe 2-3 months ago, if that, bro was like, yeah, Tank me fight. They told him up. They told dog up. They put belt to ass on dog. I don't know who it was, but apparently he was telling the truth. And I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean, Pacquiao, you know, Tank seen Pacquiao laying at the peak, nowhere near the peak of his powers. And he a coward. Like I said before, everybody equate because you have a street look or you grew up in the hood. I grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't tough. I'll tell you that right now. I ain't tough, but I defend myself. I ain't going around acting tough. I don't want no problems with nobody, bro. But one thing, though, you ain't going to disrespect me. You know, you going to whoop my ass, you going to earn it. But the people they think like hood niggas be tough or Pookie be tough or Glocktavius be tough, they showing a lot of those videos of them dudes behind them bars and they getting punked. They getting punked. These dudes ain't, these men, the average hood dude and all them dudes ain't tough, bro, for real. I'll tell you that right now, they ain't tough. A lot of guys just stupid. They just too dumb. They ain't all got heart, bro. They quick to grab a gun. They ain't shooting a fair one. They quick to snake they mans, quick to rob they man. They do a lot of whole shit. In translation, you seeing that with Gervonta and his career. You know, niggas in the hood ain't shooting fair ones, though they jumping niggas. That's why I find it so funny when people talk about snitching and the streets have code. Streets ain't got no code. And I'm gonna speak on, you know, Corey Holcomb responding to Anton Daniels. And people say he went too far. When you at war, ain't nothing too far, man. They dropped a nuke that they thought a nuclear bomb. Was it on Japan? I think it was on Japan. Bro, they knocked the nuke on there. It tore them up, man. It set them back for years. That was what Oppenheimer was about. You know, they had him create that nuclear bomb, you know, and all that shit, and they used them. And Albert Einstein warned them. They used them. And then he was wrong. People say, oh, people was debating the morality after that happened. It was debating about his morality, creating the bomb, and they pumped and dumped him. You know, Albert Einstein, that's a great movie to watch, bro. You know, if you ain't like really hitting the three phases of knowledge, and the three phases of knowledge is, you know, that I think of it as either you can watch it. I feel like you should do all three. You can watch movies, documentaries and stuff like that. You can read about it, or you can go to exhibits and museums and they can tell you about it when you get the guides and stuff. You can go to like the places and all that stuff. I remember at Hart Plaza, I think they had like a slave ship or some type of ship pull up when I was a kid. And we was able to go on and kind of see like the slave ship or whatever. You know, I remember they opened African World Museum in Detroit downtown. I was there. I believe we went there the first day they opened it. You know what I'm saying? I've been to Uncle Tom's Cabin in Canada. You know what I'm saying? So I done seen a lot. You know, obviously I would love to get to Africa and Egypt. I've ate Egyptian food before. I love to get to the pyramids. I know Kofi, y'all go subscribe to Kofi Universe. He done went over there a couple times. Kofi is very knowledgeable. So I would love, but yeah, you know, you can apply that to anything. You can apply that to boxing. Go back and watch the fights, read about them. You know what I'm saying? You can go to some of the Hall of Fame or some of the gyms. That's how you really learn. But, you know, Gervonta took an opportunity, you know, but everything's happened for a reason. You know, sometimes remember your mom used to take your game away from your dad, used to pull you out of sports because that was something that you loved to get you together. I believe doors close and open for a reason, you know, and pretty much they always abruptly close. Sometimes we see the door close and then we still shocked when it closed. But, you know, at the end of the day, it wasn't meant for him to do that. He had a lucrative fight with Jake Paul. He could have hit the lick with Jake Paul, transitioned that into Manny Pacquiao. He could have had 2 Netflix paydays. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, God didn't feel like he was ready for that. That's how I look at it. Sometimes I'll be baffled just thinking, bro, like, damn, you know, what if I ain't do this? Or what if I was able to get this opportunity or this job? Or if I was able to do this? I think, but I just be thinking like, bro, maybe I wasn't ready, or maybe that wasn't the right pivot for me. That wasn't the right play. And I had to think of it in that regards. I always try to look at it that way. Like, okay, maybe it wasn't meant for me. Maybe I wasn't ready for it. Maybe, you know, I got more work to do, you know, and something greater can come from that as far as a life lesson, more money, better opportunity, better career, better job, whatever. But for him, I mean, so be it. But that would have been that would have been a lick. That would have been a lick. He probably would have been able to walk away after that, to be frank. I think he would have been able to walk away. He would have been able to walk away after that, to keep it a bean. But, you know, everything happened for a reason. The reasons that we here, the reason that we, you know, but damn, you know, but I think Netflix would have ended up on it. But, you know, maybe that's the universe telling him, hey, bro, you're going to have to fight Shakur, Devin, and them. And maybe that might be best. He might come out on top, beat them, and be the guy. But, you know, a lot of times you reap what you sow. You did all that whole ass shit. You didn't want to fight. You know, probably was never going to fight Kid Austin being number 1. You know, that could have been easy. You know, ain't going to line up with Abdullah Mason. Ain't going to line up with the Mortayev and Cruz winner. Wasn't going to line it up with T.O. Wasn't going to line it up with Shakur. Wasn't going to line it up with Devin. Wasn't going to line it up with Keyshawn. And when you do whole shit, when you put whole energy out or bad energy out, bro, you get it back. Moving like a business, that's what he get. To keep it real, keep it frank, keep it a bean. That's what he get. That's what he get. Remember the tortoise and the hare? Hare got too cocky. You know, and I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for him, bro, at all. You just hope that he learn. But from the bartender to the parking attendant to the basketball game, he making the same mistakes over and over and over again. All these motherfuckers doing is learn how to manipulate. They know you a hothead. They know you gonna nut up. Just keep your cool and walk away. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, join the Patreon. Peace.